Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Spiral of Wisdom, the satsangs that have been going on at the School of Ancient Wisdom for a very long time, right from the days of Mamanize. So today we have a wonderful speaker with us, Mr. Adarsh Narayan. So, namaskara. And before we start, I request Malti ji to start with the school prayer.
Is that me that you call out to, Ramesh?
Yes. I saw you.
Okay.
Yes,
okay. Right. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. The school prayer. Can you hear me? All of you?
Crystal clear. Yes.
Okay, fine. Okay. O hidden life, vibrant in every atom. O hidden life, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know that he is also one with every other. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
So now I would request Swati to introduce our esteemed speaker today. Swati.
Sure, sir. So the speaker for today is Mr. Adarsh Narayan. He has completed his course in integrated clinical hypnotherapy, also pursuing PG diploma in transperson regression therapy from Tesso Institute, Netherlands, facilitated by ECA. Two aspects of his life is what matter the most: healing and knowledge sharing. He has a deep experience in being entrepreneur for over 13 years. As a healer and therapist, he has worked over 30 clients and have executed more than 200 successful sessions, bringing transformation in many directions in their lives. Every session brings new knowledge and learning. He is inclined to share knowledge through workshops and group sessions on laws of attraction, exam fear relief, stress management, work-life balancing, karma siddhanta, soul contracts, journey of souls, astral world, career alignment, woman empowerment, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adarsh ji. We are really looking forward to sharing your wisdom with us today and your guidance. Over to you.
Thank you. Very good evening to all of you. As rightly said, it's a satsang and spiral of wisdom. So it's very nice to be here. It's a quality audience, I must say, and I'm too young to be speaking in a So, anyways, my talk is mostly going to be informal, and I'll just share my thoughts and my ideas on because I'm in a healing space. I'm a therapist, and I believe the spiritual journey and the therapy, they go hand in hand. And as a student of Satya Sai institutions, I have been I have been receiving a lot of knowledge and wisdom from my seniors, from my gurus, about various aspects of our life, where the spirituality and the material life, they go hand in hand. And after coming to the healing and therapy, it has come to my understanding that the deeper understanding of our own self, the self healing, is also opening up new channels to the spiritual healing, the spiritual side of growth, what we say. So when Swatiji asked me in what topic you would like to talk about, I thought I will talk about my own journey as a, how my evolution has happened over a past few years, starting from being a Satyasai student and coming from an Orthodox family, being open to all these various traditions and cultures in our culture, and then now I'm getting into a space where I see that the ancient knowledge that we possessed, our ancestors possessed, is very much scientific, and it is very much in line with what the new discoveries say about. So what I am learning in therapy these days what I'm learning in my PG diploma, or what I'm learning in have learned in my uh, uh, clinical hypnotherapy, all we are doing is actually elevating us spiritually. So I thought of taking up this particular aspect of therapy where this real spiritual development happens, where the real improvements in our life on the spiritual side happens. So I have been into therapy from past almost 2.5 years, and it's been an amazing journey. So what happens in actual therapy is what I would like to share. What is therapy? So I am calling, there are a lot of modality to therapy. I am more into hypnotherapy and regression therapy, where we explore past lives, we explore our younger ages and traumas and so on. But at the same time, it is uh, it is also important that the therapy is not just one modality. There are a lot of modalities, and in every modality, the final objective of a therapy is um, to restore our presence as an adult of today. So I am now 36-year-old, and in my 36-year-old body, I want a 36-year-old mind to be operating full time. However, because of lot of external and internal conflicts, traumas, and energies, my decisions may be affected, my decisions may be influenced, and my decision may not be fully done by the adult of today. So past life traumas, past childhood traumas, they are capable of altering my decisions, slightly influence my decisions. So whenever this happens, I am deviating from my purpose of life. My even spiritual growth is getting hindered. So the purpose of the therapy, the main concept of the therapy comes to get your charge back into your life. And ultimately, if you look into Bhagavad Gita, that's what even Krishna says. Krishna says, take charge of your life. When Arjuna in a full Vishada yoga, Krishna says, take charge of your life first. Understand what is going to be the consequence when you are not getting into this battle. If you don't do this, then what will happen to you? When Arjuna gives so much of excuses and all of his insecurity about the entire world going into chaos in Arjuna Vishada Yoga, in the next chapter, Krishna directly gets him into the think about you first. Think about you. Take charge of your life. What is going to happen to you is what he asks. So this is when we are talking about this, the therapy brings our presence back. They call it mindfulness. They call it an adult presence. They call it prajna, the full prajna in the being here and now. There's so many names and numbers to it. However, it all means the same. I am fully taking charge of my life, and I am making decisions in my fullest authority. That's all it means. And when we are doing that, we are actually elevating our consciousness. My conscious level of my consciousness is going up, and it is slowly, slowly, slowly elevating. So every time I take up a healing, take up a therapy, my level of consciousness is raising, my vibrations are changing. As my vibrations are changing, I am attracting the similar kind of vibrations and thoughts from the universe, and I'm also attracting similar kind of people, places, people, circumstances, and people, and the similar feelings I'm attracting. Simple laws of attraction rule. So that is why spiritual elevation is step by step. Therapy also takes you from one step to another, restoring the balance in your mind and body, restoring the presence in your body, and slowly, 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 you are going to step up. So as we step up, the elevation of the consciousness, changing your vibrations, results in a better presence. What happens when you get a better presence? So let me put it this way. Let's talk about, see, whenever we are all talking about spirituality, the karma is a very strong word everybody uses. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna makes numerous references about doing your karma, leaving the result of the karma to the higher consciousness, and leaving the entire kartatva bhava also you leave, and you do the karma. So he talks about jnana yoga, he talks about karma yoga, he talks about sannyasa yoga. Then he combines all of them, tells which one is better, then says all of them are better. There's so much of wisdom in Bhagavad Gita talks about karma. So what is karma and how does it, how the therapy is going to help you with the karma? So let's put it this way. When I take a therapy, I am enlightened with some new knowledge and understanding about my own life. For example, uh, so let's take a simple example. Maybe uh, so there is a person who is constantly inviting a very negative outcomes in his life. I am not finding success, or I am not able to feel free and happy. And I'm always thinking, I'm bringing hopelessness into it. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, let's take that only. So when the Vishada Yoga happens in our life, so what happens when I take therapy? The therapy will take me back in time. It will heal whatever that is the root cause of this sadness or hopelessness or whatever that I'm experiencing, which is not at all positive. And then I am slowly and slowly releasing those blocked emotions. Along with the blocked emotions, the therapy also gives us the wisdom that it is because of my own perceptions I'm in this space today. Even though my father scolded me, my father did something to me, my mother did something to me, my friend did something to me. So from the victim mindset, I step into the zone where I take charge of my life. I understand that whatever happened in my life, I am myself responsible and no one else to blame. I am the reason why I am here today. Is it a positive outcome? Is it a negative outcome? Doesn't matter. I am responsible for my own life. When this wisdom comes, we tend to become non-judgmental. What is non-judgmental? So as long as we have a lot of judgments and beliefs in our life, so my father is like that, my mother is like that, my son is like that, my daughter is like this, my friend is like that, my colleague is like this, my life is like this, my situation is like this, my job is like this. We have so much of conclusions and judgments in our life. It's countless. But when I judge a terrorist, I really don't know what's happening in the terrorist life. I do not know why he became a terrorist in the first place. But I'm passing a straightforward judgment that all terrorists must be killed. These terrorists they do not you know they should not be living at all. So when I pass a judgment like that, I am creating a karma, because I don't know what's happening in his space. I do not know why he is a terrorist in the first place. But I am passing a judgment sitting from my table, and I do not know what is going on in his life. And his perception is not there. I don't know what his perception is. So the life of him is entirely different than life what I am living now. Which means that learning has not come to me. I do not have the experience of what does it feel like to become a victimized, or to get into that space and then become a terrorist. So what happens? If I make a judgment, I am creating a karma, and to settle that karma, somewhere in the next life, I will be sitting in that space and experiencing it and learning it and why it happened. So the earth is all about polarity. If there is happiness, there is sadness. If there is a good, there is bad. There is anger, there is grief. So every positive opposite uh, elements are there in the life. So similarly, there is a very happy space in your life. There is also a very negative space in your life. So judging doesn't help. It helps only to create more and more karma. That is the point where when we become non-judgmental, the creating karma automatically stops. When I don't judge anyone, my karma story is over. So when I'm not judging anyone, I am more peaceful because judging him only is making me more agitated. It's not helping me. So when do we come to this space? As you take therapy, as you elevate your consciousness, you will come to a space where you stop judging people. I was in a space where I was judging everybody. As I took healing, as I went forward in my life with the therapy sessions, for my own benefits, I started becoming non-judgmental, and uh, and this journey is still on. I still find myself judging somebody else for no reasons, and then I realize, okay, I judged him, but I had no reasons to do so. So then I move forward, releasing that judgment. This is what is going to create more and more karmas in our life, and stopping the judgment is what the therapy is going to help you with, because therapy restores the presence in your life, it restores the balance in your life, and as you elevate your consciousness through the therapeutic methods, you are taking charge of your life, you are becoming responsible for your own life, you stop blaming other people, you are also stopping the judgments to other people, because you get to see so many stories of your own life. So as we do past life regressions, it's very interesting to talk about the past life regressions actually. So see, every life has a purpose, and every life has got a lesson to learn. So what is my purpose of life? It's not just one purpose. The soul, it is four levels. If I put it in a more straightforward manner, so soul, mind, and body. The physical body we have validates everything. So the food we eat, it is manifesting in the physical space. The physical body is validating everything in around us, all the experiences that we're getting. It is validating the experience. So I have a pain in my body, it's validating it. You can actually feel the pain. The mind is all experiencing. So even in dream you experience. When you are dreaming, your experience is real. When you are regressing through therapy sessions, your experience is real. Your astral body is experiencing the entire story, the entire background of it. It's perception and experience. Mind is all experiencing, but the soul is all knowing. Why do we incarnate on earth? If you consider earth as a school, then every person comes here is looking for a certificate. What is a certificate? It is an experience, a learning experience. So we have a soul, we have soul groups. On top of it, we have higher consciousness, soul groups, higher consciousness, the collective consciousness. So there are multiple layers to it. Maybe it's a different topic to discuss some other day. But when the soul is incarnating combined with mind and body, it is the one learning, major learning of that life is what matters. That is why we are here. That is that is our purpose. And if we learn it fast, then maybe there is another secondary purpose to it, not tertiary purpose to it. We don't know. Depends on the what is the life plan is and how the soul contracts are. But once we understand this, and once we understand the purpose of our life, what is the major learning that I'm looking to, so all these things can be explored in therapeutic methods. There are life between lives, there are interlife sessions that we do, which will bring a lot of enlightenment to the why I am here, and what is my life plan, and what I'm supposed to learn from this life. So those things are possible in therapy, and that will give you an entirely new understanding to your own life. You can also understand whether I'm aligned to it or not. And as you understand the purpose of life, the past life regressions will also give you an understanding of various karmic connections, the karmic baggage we are carrying from previous lives, and many more things. When I do a past life regression, I also have a very strong wisdom coming to me. What is that wisdom? What was the purpose of that life? What was I supposed to learn? That I'm exploring. And that wisdom will bring me a lot of awareness. So I went back to a past life where I was prisoned for no reason. And I was tortured to death. And looking at that life, I was like, oh my God, what kind of life is this? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. For no actual reason I was imprisoned, and it doesn't make any sense. So I felt victimized and all as I went through the exploration of that life. And I also had body pains and all. So as I went forward and releasing it, and finally I became aware of what is the purpose of that life. The purpose of life for that life was to learn to stand for myself. Did I stand for myself? No, I miserably failed in that life. So why did I fail? Because I made wrong choices. Life is all about choices and destiny. Destiny is a fixed point, part of the life plan, where okay, in this life I'll definitely meet Satya Sai Baba and take guidance from he is my master, he is my guru. I will definitely do healing. So these are my fixed points. However, I also have a lot of choices. It's like I want to travel from Bangalore to Bangalore. Bangalore is my fixed point. Hassan is my fixed point. However, how do I travel is my choice. Can I travel by bus? Yes. Can I travel by car? Yes. Can I walk? Yes. It's up to me. It's my choice, my life, but my destiny is fixed. I have to pass through Hassan. I have to pass through, reach to Bangalore. So from Hassan, can I choose to go to Mysore? Yes, I can. I'm taking a longer route, but still it's by choice. It may be a good choice, it may be a bad choice. I may get stuck in the rain. I don't know. It's the consequence of my choice. So every choice we make in this life, a willful choice, will definitely have a consequence. When you own the choice, you also own the consequence of it. So when I looked into that life gave me an understanding. Okay, I made a wrong choice somewhere in between where I had an opportunity to stand for myself, fight for justice, and get out of the jail. I was in a hopeless situation. I am in an inaction mode. I was in Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So I just kept on weeping and waiting for somebody to take action. I did not take action. So with that wrong choice, that life ended in misery. And whenever there is a dying thought and there is a lot of negative emotions during the dying thought, all those dying thoughts, it is very much possible that they are getting triggered in this life also. So I had a past life which died uh, being robbed, and for half of my life, I mean, until recently, I was strongly there was a strong subconscious thought I was having that I don't want money because money will kill me. So that was the experience of the past life. After I released it, I really started earning something. Till then, I literally lived with zero earnings because the dying thought was so strong. And this is perhaps this is why our entire ancient Indian culture very specifically focuses on dying peacefully. Dying peacefully is very, very important. To die peacefully, we need to be present fully, focused on our equal growth on spirituality, equal growth on material life. Leaving the material life and growing spiritually is impossible, technically impossible. We are in this world, in earth, so the karma is unavoidable. It's not, avoiding is not an option for anybody. So leaving everything and going in the spiritual line is if you ask me in my terms and knowledges, for many of us who want to live from spiritual life to material life, we leave the material life and we want to take sannyasa and go somewhere else. That kind of a thought process is mostly a coping strategy, because I don't want the misery of my life. Instead of that, maybe we could try improving our life, heal ourselves, take charge of our life. And as we take charge of our life, automatically our kundalini raises. In every spiritual growth also it raises. And as the kundalini slowly raises all the way reaches to our throat chakra, the sense of surrender comes. When we get sense of surrender, we stop judging people. We also get rid of that kartrutva bhava. There is nothing in my control. Everything is, I am surrendering to the higher power, and I am following whatever the higher power commands to me, or whatever that comes to me, let the best come to me, or whatever is coming to me is already the best version itself. This understanding will open our third eye. It will give you the intuitive knowledge, and then the kundalini raises further, all the way up to the Sahasrara, releasing us from this drama of karma, drama of dharma, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, all these things. So this entire journey of our soul in this lifetime, there is a one major purpose to it, and then karmic connections to it. Maybe there are activated past lives, there are dormant past lives triggered because our body carries a lot of triggers to past lives. Our mind carries experiences from multiple lives, and because of all these things, as a combined result, we are not fully in charge of our own lives. And when this is happening, that is where everything gets messed up. That is where our entire spiritual growth is also hindered, and it is going very, very, very slow. So I am not uh, I am doing every japa tapa, everything I am doing, I'm going to satsangs. So technically satsang is, as Shankaracharya says, satsangatve nisangatvam, nisangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatatvam, nischalatatve jivan mukti. It's a step by step process, but somewhere in between we are getting stuck. We are not able to move forward. So from satsang, we are always stuck in satsang. We are not going to nisangatvam. We are not enjoying our own companionship. We are not looking into us. We are just doing satsang, doing satsang, doing satsang, and acquiring knowledge, and not using that knowledge that we are already having. So nitsangatam never comes, and some of us are already stuck in nirmohatvam, where we are not ready to let go. We want the WhatsApp tick mark coming to us, and we want to keep swing whether he has replied me or he has not replied me, she has replied me, she has not replied me, and I will get anxious about it. So the nirmohatvam doesn't come. So everybody is stuck in one or the other place, and it's a slow process as we move forward. Understanding past lives, unhealed past lives, and healing those past lives, getting the wisdom out of those past lives is very, very helpful and fast forward spiritual journey. Along with that, there are karmic connections. I was talking about karmic connections quite a few times. I have already mentioned it. What is a karmic connection? So we have karmic parents. Like, one parent is very soft and loving. One parent is very strong and always teaching in the the stronger methods. He's our karmic parents. He's a normal parent and karmic parent. So usually when we do a life plan, we tend to choose one person as our karmic parent who will teach us in various ways. All the soul contracts. So every person we meet in our life most likely has a contract with us. What kind of contracts? To teach something. What do we teach? So let's say I get married, and my wife's contract with me is to teach patience. So how does she teach patience? By triggering all my buttons, she will teach me patience. That is how you teach. So if you ask me to, if I ask my friend to help me with the, I want to become the best driver, please teach me driving. All right, I'll teach you driving. So first 1 or 2 days he will ask me to take rounds in a less crowded area. Once he finds that, okay, I am now capable of driving better, he will directly push me into a heavy traffic zone where it's really, really difficult to drive. Now, while struggling to drive in the most difficult traffic ever, if I am blaming my friend for taking me there, and I'm feeling victimized, and I'm telling him, why the hell did you bring me here? It doesn't make any sense. You are this, you are that. I hate you. What does it mean? He will simply say, this is what you asked for. You wanted to be the best driver, and this is how I teach you. By taking through a heavy traffic only, you become a best driver. So you drive. This is what you asked me to do. This is your contract. You asked me to do this. So for every person in our life, we, most of the persons, we have this kind of contracts where we ask them to teach us something before we came into life. However, because of the gravitational pull and the earth's drama, we forget what the contract we are having. So what happens here? Drama happens. What kind of drama? Okay, so she is making me feel uh, you know, she is testing my patience. I am losing my patience. I am yelling at her. I am doing so many things at her, and she is getting it back to me. And one fine day, she will say, "I will make sure that you will repay for this. You will pay for this." So once she says, "I will make sure, and someday we will pay for this," she also means across multiple lifetimes, because me, I, Atman, is permanent. It is eternal. So when I say I will make sure that you will pay for this, I am going to be haunting this person for multiple lifetimes to teach lessons. So next life, the role will reverse, where I am teaching this person the patience, role reversal. Now that person is getting victimized. And now that person will say, I will make sure I'll teach you this. This drama will continue. This will never end. So understanding soul contracts is very easy in therapy. So we have come across various relationship issues. In my clients, I have worked with many clients where a relationship becomes really, really bad, or parents are really, really sitting on the child's head and asking them, "Oh, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that." Doesn't work. So where does this kind of mindset come from? It comes from a contract most of the time. Sometimes there are a lot of other elements also. So as we move forward in our therapeutic journey, the spiritual elevation automatically happens because you are taking charge of your life. You are also becoming aware of your previous lives, where in one life you were a king, you killed everybody. In another life you were a victim. In another life you were a perpetrator. In another life you were a tantric. In another life you are a soldier. So you come across so much of understanding that I am not a victim anymore. I have been a perpetrator before. There is no point in being a victim in this life. There is no point in blaming somebody else in this life. So once I start understanding this, my spiritual evolution has already begun, because that's what Krishna said. That's what Jnana Yoga is all about, to get the wisdom, to understand the Atma Tattva. And as we move forward, the Karma Yoga also comes. You, you know, because you become non-judgmental, and you know that this is my karma, this is my responsibility, this is my life. I have to do whatever I have to do. And as you move forward in this Karma Yoga also, your spirituality is going forward. And then the sannyasa yoga. So once you have an elevation and understanding, and you do enough sadhana and yoga, the chakra healing and all those things, and you heal all those unhealed past lives, and when you work with all of your inner children, the traumatized part of you, and you start taking decisions as an adult of today, right now, right here, I am thinking about myself. I am thinking about the repercussion of my own choice, and I am doing this choice consciously with my authentic positive emotions. That is where the sannyasa yoga comes, because now you are there but you are not there. You understand that this life is, it is nashvara, it is going to end anywhere. Somewhere when my bus stop comes, I have to get down. So you are not judging anyone. You don't have the mindset of a doer. I am doing everything. No, this is my responsibility. I'm taking charge of it, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not becoming overconfident about it. And I'm also not bothered about the results, because I'm always looking for the best of me and the best results and best outcomes. So the sannyasa also automatically happens. And somewhere in out of these three journeys, the jnana yoga, karma yoga and sannyasa yoga, one of the strongest route, that is most convenient route for us, the best route, what we are comfortable and easy and understanding for us, that route we take, and we slowly elevate and move forward and move forward. And as this moves forward, the spiritual journey will reach where it actually has to reach. So the entire last 2.5 years of my therapeutical journey, my spiritual journey has taken a extra speed and extra pace. And it all started from being non-judgmental and getting out of that victim mindset that, okay, somebody else is doing something to me. No, nobody else is doing anything to me. I understand that this is my life. I am attracting positives or negatives. So I am really very sure that the most of the audience here are very familiar with the laws of attraction. I'm sure many would have already spoken about it. So what we feel is what we uh, bring into our space. into our life, how we feel, whichever bell we are ringing, a positive bell or negative bell, whichever bell you ring, that is what the universe will respond back to you with. So in order to stop ringing the negative bells in our subconscious mind, because consciously I am very happy, but there is a very strong part of my mind which is very sad. So I am sending mixed emotions to the universe, and when there are mixed emotions to the universe, there is a mixed response. So if I am feeling sad, I am inviting people around me who are sad, who will make me feel more sad. If I am agitated and angry, I am sending that to universe, and similar events and circumstances will happen. If I am in a victim mindset, if I am saying okay, everybody else is responsible for everything bad happened in my life, then more bad will happen, and more we will be inviting more victimized people around us. So as we heal, this victim mindset completely and completely goes, and we take charge of our lives. And when we take charge of our life, this kind of an elevation slowly starts to take shape. And as it takes shapes, the laws of attraction is very simple and straightforward. So success, money, everything comes. Now there are straightforward statements that we can write. I need, I want, I must have. There are 7 chakras, there are 7 statements. So you can easily understand and identify where is my kundalini energy is with respect to one particular sector of my life. If it is a spiritual journey, let's say I need to grow spiritually, I want to grow spiritually, I must grow spiritually, I would love to grow spiritually, I deserve to grow spiritually, I see that I'm growing spiritually, I am growing spiritually. These are the 7 statements related to 7 chakras. And if you strongly recite it, you will see that each somewhere in those statements, somewhere you will find the resistance. You will not be able to say it out loud, or you will not be able to, some kind of a resistance, some kind of an alternative feeling. No, I don't agree with this statement. Your subconscious is saying something to you. That is where your kundalini energy is stuck with respect to that energy. And that is where you need to actually work on with therapy. And that will actually remove the blockages to spiritual uh, elevation, and that will further take forward things in a different manner. This is what the entire therapeutic methods look for. Along with all this spirituality and inclination, the wisdom and the knowledge. In every therapy session, there is a huge wisdom coming. What is happening in my life, and why it is happening in my life. And the why is very important. Why do we do what we do? I want to elevate spiritually. Why? I want to go to school. Why? I want to run a business. Why? So when I explored why I want to run a business, I found an interesting answer to it. So I was running a business to prove my father that I can run a business. And trust me, I miserably failed, because the intent was out of negative emotions. I was trying to prove him, I was angry at him. And this anger brought me back more frustration. And the frustration and the anger was the decision making emotions behind me running a business. And then it brought me back the same frustration and anger and financial losses. So why we are doing what we do is the most important question we need to ask ourselves. So do we no we should be like a boat, we should be like a. So Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba often quoted this, I think. He says, be like a boat. The life in life, you be like a boat. If life is water, you be like a boat. How do you, what is the speciality of a boat? So boat is always in the water, but the water is never inside the boat. So you be in the material life, you do what you are supposed to do. You perform your karmas to the fullest potential. You live your life to the fullest potential. But do not get into the maya of it. Do not get stuck with the drama of life. We often try to rescue people. Even rescuing becomes very easy for us. So I got around 5 to 7 minutes extra, so I think I'll just cover this part of uh, the story. So rescuing is what we do many times. So why I am inclined spiritually, I want to rescue many people, many more people around you. I want to elevate everybody. But uh, can you really elevate somebody else spiritually? You can only guide them. You cannot actually lift them out of their spaces. It's not possible. There is only the spiritual elevation will happen internally. So we can only guide to anybody. So you cannot actually rescue. So what happens if you rescue somebody? After some times, this rescue becomes the rescuer becomes the victim, because whoever has been rescued will hold on to this person, or he will do something else to become a and keep going forward with the whatever they, because that person doesn't want to, he is still in the victim mindset. So whoever is in the victim mindset, when we rescue them, uh, after some time the rescuer will feel like a victim. And there is one thing very interesting about the karmic connections I must quote with. Karmic connections are sometimes very peculiar. So as I we all know this, but I am just giving the therapeutic examples of it. So in one of the uh, one of my client sessions, so he lost his job. All of a sudden, a manager comes to him. A new manager comes to him. The new manager is very, somehow he doesn't like this person. My client, he doesn't like. And something happens. Some drama happened. And overnight, the next one fine evening, client comes to me saying that, Adarsh, I have lost the job. And he's feeling very victimized. He says, this is really, really bad. I haven't done anything wrong, but this is really, really bad. And I'm completely screwed. And I have lost the job. So by looking at the examples and the ideas that, whatever he shared, I had a feeling that there is something more to this story. So I regressed him. I took a quick session for him. And in this session, we explored what kind of karmic connections does this person and that person have. Because out of the blue, if the higher authority person suddenly comes into this my client space and then he simply throws him out of the job, doesn't make any sense. It looks like a long-term standing grudge. So we explored what is it, and the client landed in a past life where this person is the victim and my client is the perpetrator. My client threw him out in some king's palace. Something happened, and they argued, and finally, this person who is his senior now in this life got victimized, went out. So exact same feeling got replicated to my client. Exact same feeling what that person went through in that life came back to him in his life. A clear-cut repercussion of whatever karma that has been done. So it's a karmic connection. So many instances where we give somebody a lot of money, and that person, no matter how much hard he tries, he is unable to repay. Most likely a karmic connection. And somewhere I paid him, I took money from that person and I'm not paying him back in some other life. And now it has come back to me. These kind of a karmic repercussions and karmic connections have happened many times. And it keeps happening. The drama keeps going on. As I said, the karmic drama will stop only when we understand that, okay, this is a drama. I need to get out of the drama. This, at least in this life, I don't want to continue this drama. You did this to me, I did this to you. End of the story. Enough is enough. So otherwise, for 7 lives, we will be continuing the drama. So this kind of a drama we do not want to. We want to elevate spiritually. So therapy, regression therapy, clinical hypnotherapy, integrated spiritual hypnosis is all really good tools to elevate our consciousness, take charge of our lives, understand what happened in our past, and become aware of our interlife ideas, understand the purpose of life and so many things. So there are a lot of areas to explore in healing journey, and the elevation of consciousness naturally happens. And as it happens, we are also moving towards the moksha, moving towards the best versions of ourselves. So this is what I understand and look at therapy as, and this is how I offer my services to my clients. And I'm just sharing my own experiences, and I have not quoted much of the examples and stories, because the past life, it's like, for a therapist, every day is like a reality show. So we keep getting stories, different angles of past lives, these lives, various kind of victimization feelings, various kinds of perpetrations, everything we get to see. And sometimes it is interesting, but it is also very healing to myself as a therapist. By looking at somebody else's story, I am also getting healed. So this opportunity has been really wonderful. It's been very nice to share my views and my ideas on the therapy and my spiritual journey. Thank you very much for the opportunities, and any questions, please shoot.
I have given option to unmute everyone, so you can unmute and ask the question.
Hello. Yes, it worked now. I was trying to unmute myself. Thank you so much, Adarshji. That was very interesting. In fact, probably I'm sure there are many people who have questions now coming up. So,
Ramesh,
for those
can
who
I
do,
just ask? Ramesh Malti here. Can
yes,
I just ask? Yeah.
yes,
I
yes,
am
please do.
Malti Adarsh. I was just listening to your nice talk. You told in the middle that, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah, I have
Go ahead,
unmuted.
please.
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to ask you that when you said that it would be nice, basically for people to uh, um, die in a peaceful kind of a way, so that that makes a lot of difference for the future life that's going to happen. But
Yes.
what happens to a person who's in a coma, or who's, basically somebody who's maybe unconscious, or somebody who is not able, who's going through dementia, or
Yeah.
some state like that, where we are not aware whether he's really conscious and whether he's peaceful? Because such people, unless they're fully in coma, they are not peaceful. I feel if they are in dementia and things like that, they you go through the being tied down to the bed and things like that.
Yes.
Then what happens to those people, even though they may be desiring sometime in life?
Yes. So I feel that the coma and the dementia, all the physical ailments that we go through, the mind, even in the coma, the mind is the astral body, and the experience and the mind is still active, the
Okay.
person. But
Mhm.
somehow the physical body is not able to resonate with what the mind is saying. The physical body is completely disconnected from the astral body. So
Okay.
there is a possible, if you ask me from the therapy angle, it is possible to communicate with those personalities even when they are in coma. Through somebody else, we can communicate. There are a lot of modalities who do this. But
Okay.
the dying thoughts, as you rightly pointed out, is mostly going to be out of the distress and out of the negative feelings. And the one of the ways how the therapy can help these areas is uh, to find a way to communicate with them, maybe through a surrogate therapy, or to through somebody else, to some relative, somebody. We can have a conversation with that person. We can make them aware that this is you are going through, but you need to release your negative emotions and make peace with whatever situation that you are in. Understand the purpose of your life, and then live peacefully. It is possible to make them aware of this. And if they are not becoming aware, then as you rightly pointed out, it is going to be a non-peaceful death, and there is a very strong possibility that it triggers something else in some coming lives. Sometimes it is even happens that if you carry a very strong negative thoughts while dying, you directly take them as a karmic baggage and land in the next life with that karmic baggage, and that will derail the entire purpose of the next life. It is like carrying a big stone on your head and walking.
Okay.
So
Because my mama, when she was passed, when she was on the verge of passing away, she was like this, she had multiple organ failure and all that. So she was hardly conscious. So people asked me to keep reciting Mahamrutyunjay mantra in her ear. And that's exactly what I did. And I hope it's helped her. That's all. Just with
definitely
that.
it would have, because
Yeah.
Mahamrutyunjay mantra is very powerful, and
Yeah.
the baseline meaning of the entire mantra is to let the best happen to me and let everything that does not resonate with me go away.
Okay.
So whatever best for the soul will definitely happen if you recite that mantra. That is why
Oh.
it is very powerful.
So
Very
ಕಿವಿಲ್
powerful in healing.
ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ they kept on saying, so that's
Yes.
ಹಂಗೆ.
It would have worked.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Shanti Sridharan. First, at the beginning, I just want to thank you for your clarity in all that you expressed. Now, my
Thank you so much.
question is, in this life, I'm not saying in different lives, in a particular life, supposing I'm here in this, I'm experiencing the same sort of the experiences are the same. It maybe after for 5 years it is okay, then suddenly it goes back to the same old story. So to that, what would you say to that? That is one thing. And another thing is this therapy. See, I'm a woman, and I feel a woman only may be able to understand me better. So how do we choose the therapist? These two questions I'd like you to answer.
Okay. So the first thing is, what you mentioned is also called a pattern repetition. So it's like, a person steps into a job. Every time when he steps into a job, within 2 years, he'll fight, and he'll fight with the boss, and he'll come back. And it's like a same feeling, same set of emotions coming back to my life. No matter where I go, I am coming back to the same position all over again. It's called a pattern repetition. Happens because of a large part of our consciousness is stuck in that moment, and in that decision. So we also call these inner children. So if you have heard any other therapists talking in these sessions, so inner child healing is very powerful in these areas where the pattern repetition is there. So many a times pattern repetition also comes because of a past life which is not aware of the death. Lot of accidental deaths, lot of traumatic deaths result in unawareness of the death. It's like, even before the soul and the mind, the consciousness realizes that the body is no more and I'm not connected to the body, the death happened, and the energetic cord to the body and the consciousness is already cut. So the consciousness is stuck in the area of the accident. The body is taken to the hospital. The body is burnt, but this part of the consciousness is not aware that death has happened. The death is not registered. So in such cases, when the next life comes, every life, when we are, if I can explain this more, maybe like it's like when we die, the consciousness is a combination of mind and soul. The soul goes to the higher dimension, comes back to the next life. But the mind carries all the experiences. It's a collection of experiences across multiple lifetimes. It stays in the fourth dimension. And when the soul comes back to the next life, it combines with the soul, becomes the consciousness, comes back to the body. Now, when this happens, there is a part of consciousness which is unaware of the death. It is actually living the life of that previous life. Now it can simply hop on to the new life, new body. and it can replicate whatever it was doing in the previous life, because the death awareness is not there.
That is,
In
it's
such
not
case,
able to forget, it's not able to
yes,
forget, go
yes,
beyond that experience.
yes. So it will be magnetizing the similar kind of a event, similar kind of a story. So I have come across clients who were stuck in a relationship issue, and every relationship is going for a toss because in one life somebody pushed that person from a cliff. The lover, the person who loved pushed the person into from a cliff, and in this life, every time it is getting repeated. So a lot of these kind of stories come from previous lives. So I would suggest this is a clear cut reference to a pattern repetition, and it can be easily healed. Even I had a lot of patterns which uh, I have taken therapies and I've worked on it, and they have helped me a lot. And to coming to the next question of yours, how do you choose a therapist? So usually male or female, it doesn't really matter, but yes, depending on your, how comfortable you are to discuss the therapist, because there is a difference between a counseling and therapy. The counselor will always ask you a story. What happened, what happened, what happened. A therapist is more focused on how do you feel and what is your emotions. We mostly work with your emotions. So if you are not comfortable sharing a very deep story that comes up in a regression session, you don't have to actually share the entire story, because all I am concerned when I am doing therapy is how do you feel and what are your emotions and what are your thoughts. The story doesn't matter to me. So depending on how you resonate with the therapist and how comfortable you are, you can always choose. There are a lot of therapists even in Bangalore. It's a nice way to have it. But yeah, the focus part is the stories are not that relevant. The feelings and the thought process matters. Did
Thank
I
you.
answer you properly?
Yeah, thank you. I have, you have answered. I'll have to think about it and
Yes,
reflect on what you said.
definitely.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. I would like to have your contact. I'd like to
Yeah,
get in touch with you, sir.
Definitely. I'll share it in the group.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I put it in the chat?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sure.
Please do. I think,
I've shared it in the chat.
okay. So does anybody else have any more questions?
I have a question. Ramesh?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I'm
please.
Janathiram.
Yes.
The talk was very, very, what should I say, illuminating, particularly with respect to soul contract and karmic connections.
Thank you.
My clarifications, what I want is, how does one decide that I need a therapist? And how long the therapy continues? The sessions, for example, what kind of average period normally is required, and what sort of maybe I will leave this first two you answer, then I will come back. I don't want to add too many things.
Sounds good. So when do you need a therapist is a really good question, because so when we have patterns like this, like ma'am said, when I'm landing back in a same space and my life is not moving, I'm stuck. After 2-3 years, I'm coming back to same situation. I'm after one month, I'm coming back to same situation. If there is a pattern repetition, you need a therapist. And if you have something very deep in your subconscious, it's like it's not going forward at all. It's not going backwards. It's not going round and round. It's not going forward also. You are stuck in the same place. 10 years ago, where I am, after 10 years also, I am in the same place. Spiritually, personally, financially, or family-wise, wherever. If you are stuck in a place, your entire resources are stuck, then it's a good time to have a therapy. If you are attracting lot of physical ailments one after the other, good time to have a therapy. It's like I took my treatment for migraine, and as soon as the migraine is over, my nose started bleeding, and as soon as that is over, I developed diabetes. As soon as diabetes treated, I developed hernia. So this list continues, which means there is something subconsciously attracting the illness as a coping strategy. So that is the time when you actually need a therapy to heal and break that pattern. Lot of allergy issues, therapy can be very wonderful and fast. Lot of physical issues like which are coming back, especially uh, you can seek a therapist when you have chronic problems. For example, wheezing and back pains and diabetes, blood pressure, and many other physical ailments which are chronic in nature, which are actually when you are doing a medication, it is in control. When you stop medication, it comes back to you. A lot of back pains come from past life injuries. Most of migraine cases come from past life injury to the head. These injuries, the pain is carried forward to the next life. That is why the pain is coming back to you and it's not getting healed. So those are the times where you need therapy, and especially the therapy is very powerful when you feel like my life I am not fully in charge. I have blackouts. I am not able to focus on something. I am not, whatever I want to happen, that is not happening. I want to take my life in a particular direction, and somehow something happens in my space, and then finally I end up doing something else. Uncontrolled situations and repeated accidents. So I can go on giving you numerous counts on examples on this, but therapy is generally when you feel things are not in control. It's beyond explanation. That is the right time to have a therapy. One therapy session is usually 1.5 hours. In my sessions are usually 1.5 hour to 2 hours. So sometimes it is just counseling and talking. Sometimes it is some simple energetic tools that I use. Sometimes it is pure therapy. Sometimes it's pure chakra healing. So depends on the kinds of the issue, what kind of issue we are dealing with. The therapy's time differs. Usually, in my experience, if you come up with let's say I have a short temper, I get angry very easily. This is the theme. So for this theme, usually 8 to 10 sessions or up to 12 sessions. One session is 1.5 hours, and that issue can be completely resolved. If you're coming with a back pain or any other physical ailments, blood pressure, something that is there from a very long time, then the number of sessions may be same 8 to 10 sessions, but you will have to do a lot of regular practices on a daily basis, self hypnosis and affirmations, and maybe the chakra healing and all. Maybe it can go all the way up to 2 or 3 months. So depending on the issues, the duration will change, but this is how usually it is. 1.5 hours, usually 4 to 8 to 10 sessions.
Thank you very much. Very clear. Can you tell us something about what kind of workshops you do, what durations, and what are this? That is one question.
Yeah.
Second is, can you put some resources on the chat, particularly with the soul contract and karma? Is there any good resource other than Gita and scriptures? Any books or anything?
Books. Yeah, I can share a few books.
Thank you.
So the workshops, my workshops are mostly focused on personal transformation. I also conduct workshops for exam stress release, because studies and exams are major issues nowadays. So we do workshops for the parents to handle and balance the stress and help the students to overcome the exam stress and this difficulty in studies and all. And we also do workshops for teachers and to the students as well. So it's a unique workshop with the guidance of my mentor Vijay Sai. He's also a very well therapist, and he's my trainer. So I have taken some guidance from him, and we have been working with the students to release the exam stress and really give them some hypnotic triggers and tools to focus, to remember, and recall, because the exam marks depend on how much information you are capable to recall in the exam halls. It doesn't depend on how much you study. Even after studying, day and night, there are a lot of students who are unable to recall what they have studied. So we focus on enabling them in attending the exams without fear, without stress, without worries, and to be able to recall whatever they are trying to write in the exams. Along with that, I also have a few more modules that are still in the works. My colleague Shruti also works on menstruation cycles and the divine feminine concept, where various energetical repercussions of the menstruation cycles and the general idea of a menstruation cycle is that it is difficult, or it is painful, it is an issue. We have always seen, especially the women of our country these days, especially younger age children, and the younger generation, they look into the menstruation cycle as an issue, whereas it is actually the divine feminine energy, a natural flow. It is a shakti. So there is no acceptance about this. So my colleague Shruti is dedicatedly working on this concept, and I am helping her from the psychological angles of it, where the first period is always a trauma most of the times. So we release the trauma in workshops, and we help them do a creative visualization, accept their own body, come into an acceptance with the menstruation cycles and all these kind of things we do. I also do a workshop for cosmic alignment, where the same spiritual journey what I was talking about, so laws of attraction and how do you take charge of your life, various practices, everything. So there are 2-3 levels of workshops we do for cosmic alignment, and then career guidance and many other modules, small modules we also do.
Sir, very good evening. I'm Anish and I have a question.
Yes, please.
So I just wanted to know two things, sir. One is, can these sessions, therapy sessions, be online? Can we take online sessions?
Yeah. We can take online sessions. Physical
So
sessions are more powerful.
Okay.
But the online sessions are equally effective.
If we can take online sessions, please share the link where we can book online sessions, so that it is very
sure.
helpful for us. And I would also like to ask you, sir, if you have any WhatsApp group where you share knowledge based on this, I would be happy to be a part of that. Thank you very much. It was a very wonderful
Yeah,
session.
we do have a, thank you. We do have a group where we share all these things. So regular sharings happen. It's a community. So feel free to join. I'll share the links.
Thank you so much, Adarsh. Any more questions from any other participants at Sangees today? So I had a question myself. I have actually been through past life regression once, and the kind of I was put into a kind of hypnotic state, and was taken through what I felt was probably my imagination playing up. Now, how do I know? I'm not very sure if I really kind of got in touch with what actually probably happened in a past life. But how do we know? Because in this day and age, when you have a lot of practitioners who may not even be authentic, how can one measure the authenticity of this process? Out of curiosity.
So when you were regressed to a past life, how strong did you feel the the emotions and the feelings in your body, in your physical body?
Not very strong. It was it came like thought packets.
Okay. So there are two things I would like to point out here. One is, if the trance is not very deep, then you may not actually feel things in the body. But a past life is very authentic when you feel the charges, maybe that pain. See, all our feelings come with body feelings also. There is an emotion, there is a body feeling. So when I'm feeling sad, I also have a heaviness in my chest. When I'm feeling sad, I also have a, my head is dizzy and I'm doing like this. So there is a physical, if you connect to your body, there is a physical feeling along with the emotion. And the body cannot lie. You cannot actually ask the body to pretend that you are feeling heavy. If the heaviness is there, the heaviness is there. If you're feeling cramps in your body, crampness is there. If there is a head injury in the past life, you will actually feel the injury. So when a past life regression happens, I, as a therapist, make sure that these body feelings are properly authenticated, because the experience is real and very deep when the body charges are up. So the past life, usually when we regress, most of the past life regression that I do it through a transpersonal regression therapy. It's a TASO method. So under hypnosis also it is
come again, please. I did not get you.
Transpersonal regression therapy. It's called TASO. It's a bit advanced to hypnosis. Hans Tandem is the founder of this entire concept. So where we purely work with the body charges. For example, you are let's say there's a person who has come to me with I don't know, I'm feeling sad, I don't know why, and this sadness is very deep, it's feeling very heavy in my heart, and I really don't know why I am sad. I have nothing happened in my life which is making me sad, but I'm still sad. It's a very peculiar case. So now what do? So I regress him to wherever has experienced this for the very first time, and he may land up in a very deep sad space in a past life. That past life is unaware of the death, or the grief is too much to handle, so that grief has been carried away in this life. Maybe he just saw a dead body and resonated with it, and this past life got activated. Now the past lives get activated for various such reasons, where there is a resonance in the current life and the past life. So in order to authenticate your past life experience, the body experiences are the key. If you are feeling them in your body, then your experience is 100% authentic, because body cannot lie.
Now, to create a space for past life regression to happen, does the regressor or the client have to be of a certain level of consciousness to enable the healing to happen?
Yeah. So adult presence is what we call it. So the person need to be in a cognitive discussion state, and he needs to be able to answer our questions. He needs to be able to answer, respond back to us. So it's very important that he is conscious, and even under the regression, he'll be fully conscious. He'll be remembering what all things had. And very rare cases, a full association happens where you are completely in the past life, leaving the current life. The full experience is very deep within. So that also happens very rarely. In such cases, we help the client to come back immediately, because we don't want to intensify the experience. Sometimes it is very deep. I have seen clients going really deep and completely forgetting where they are right now, and such cases also happens.
Do they come back with skills from a past life which was
Yeah.
not there?
Yeah, so that also has happened. I have seen. So one of my client had a very deep wheezing issue, the congestion in breath, and he had it from almost childhood. And when I looked into the root cause of it, it landed in multiple past lives. It was a residue. One past life had this issue. After that, every past life had this issue for multiple 20, 30 past lives. So all of them carried this wheezing, the congestion in the health. That residual energy carried, and came all the way up to here. So in one session, so I have done the cleansing sessions before that. So overall about 8 to 10 sessions maybe. And I did a full organ regeneration to this client. Entire respiratory organ is rebuilt, energetically rebuilt. We are able to, rebuild the entire respiratory system, and now he is able to breathe properly without any medication. It just got cured in one session.
Oh, amazing!
Happened from the past life.
Okay, and for a past life regressionist, the practice, is it an inborn skill or can it be developed?
It can be developed. So for any therapist, I believe, a past life therapist or a regression therapist, whoever it is, I believe the important and most important skill is to be present in the moment, because you don't know what pops up. So whatever comes in, you should be able to creatively address it and look into it and then respond to it properly. So yeah.
So the therapist must be at a certain level of consciousness themselves to be able to be
definitely.
effective.
So that is why we go through a lot of self-healing ourselves.
Okay. So you have to be a sadhak in a manner of speaking.
Definitely. This lot of spiritual elevation happens as we become therapists, and even our curriculum is so tight that they make sure they dig out all the residual energies from the past life and they take it to healing. A lot of self-healing.
And I'll just wind up this question answer session with one more question on the relevance of past life regression. I know these are all part of esoteric sciences, which are now slowly opening up to more and more people. Many people may not even have the inclination to believe in such things, but the expansion of this awareness can also make a solid impact on our education and on the general openness of our population to these higher realms of consciousness. Where does it stand right now in Bharat, which is what India is going to be called?
Yes.
Now,
so I feel past life regression now. There are a lot of practitioners who are just doing the past life regression for the sake of bringing experience to the clients. Okay, I had a past life of this. Okay, I had a past life of that. But therapeutic approach is very limited, and in my line of work, past life regression is my everyday job. Most of people come with issues. Some past life connections usually opens up, and past life regression is something very commonly used by even in Indian practitioners these days. But yes, the awareness is very limited, and uh, not only past life regression, it's also ancestral lives. So the ancestral healing is also not in that much of a light as of now. And as you rightly pointed out, I think it is slowly now coming to the people's awareness, and medically saying also a lot of diseases that are not getting healed are coming from the past lives. Many issues. So I think more awareness is needed. That is why I usually talk about it openly, and I think that will bring some difference, as we go forward.
Thank you so much, Adarsh. It was really a pleasure, and opened our eyes. Of course, I mean it's always been a very much loved topic here in satsangs. We have been exposed to the concept of past life regression and past lives also
Nice.
at the School of Ancient Wisdom.
I have seen the YouTube videos as well. So I had a I thought maybe if I put it in this way, it might be interesting. That's why, because already I have seen in your most of your YouTube channels, there are a lot of healers already spoken about this.
You've done your research well then, Adarsh. So
I think, as I said, satsang is something close to my heart. So I love to be in this company.
We're blessed to have had you here in our midst today. In fact, one thing that stood out as a closing thing, acknowledgement from the School of Ancient Wisdom. On behalf of the School of Ancient Wisdom, we really want to thank you. But before I say that, the things that stood out in your talk was that what was very empowering, and I'm sure it'll be very empowering for all of us, was that it was not just about a past life regression, but a therapy, the healing process that this entails. And the most empowering thing was that it allows us to take charge of our lives. And that is a very powerful thing, what you said, the sum and substance really is that. And you also spoke about accepting the karma theory and how to be able to accept and take responsibility and stop judging, blaming, and instead we move ahead. So that really probably is the essence of what the Gita says also, in how to practically deal with our lives from that wisdom which you brought out. And it also helps us learn our lessons. You spoke about karmic connections, that they can keep coming back to you in the same way till we really come to terms with it. And once we understand this drama, we can close it. Otherwise, you mentioned that it can even probably continue for 7 lives, which is a bit scary. So I think if we come to terms with it, then we really get back into the present moment. And instead of fear, it is the awareness of who we really are, that we are a soul and not this body. and that we've come to these lives for self-realization and not for self-gratification, and that liberates us from the cycle. And it helps us also grow and become wiser and a better person. So thank you so much for opening our eyes and for giving us your contact. I'm sure many of us would be very happy to get in touch with you, and we'd also love to look forward to a workshop from your end, perhaps for a weekend workshop at the School of Ancient Wisdom, if you're open to the idea.
Yeah, sure.
So on that note of gratitude, let us do the Loka Samasta. Let us all sit straight with our back, neck, and head aligned. And please, as is customary here, let us also remember our loved ones and those in our communities who need healing, who need upliftment. As we do the Loka Samasta, let us also send out these vibrations to humanity and the universe at large. Please take a deep breath. And let go. Let us all connect with each other as souls, which is part of a single source. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you all. And please do remember to invite your loved ones and friends for our spiral of wisdom that happens every Thursday at the same time from 6:30 to 8. So over to you, Swati, if you do have any more announcements to make. If not, see you all next week. Good night and God bless you all. Thank you, Adarsh, once again.